Okay, trying to get in the habit more of recording for our YouTube, and this is like a fun little educational one, so I want to make sure we have it. So welcome y'all to our third GBM of the semester. Today we're going to be talking about blind soccer. Uh, Allison and Will did like a super great job putting this together, and the hopes of like talking about it now is that in October we're going to try to do a social with blind soccer, so we're all going to try it out. So we want to know some of the rules and have a little background on. If you guys haven't already, please fill out the fall membership form. Um, I think some of you on here haven't filled it out, so just go ahead and fill that out. Um, that way we have your email and stuff. It helps us, and then just keeping track of like who's coming, points, etc. So yeah, I'll leave it up there for a second, actually. And then we have the point submission form. So go ahead and scan this too right now. It just takes you to a link. You fill out like what event you were at, and then we keep track of your points. Just being here is 2 points out of the 8 you need. So start off strong. Yeah, 2 easy points. And then I know Amanda would really appreciate it. Can you hear me now? Okay. I don't know why it's changing to my AirPods. Anyway, uh, so points and dues. Uh, if you guys didn't come to our intro meeting or are wondering about it, so this is kind of our point breakdown. Just putting it up here again. Socials are 1 point, GBMs are 2. Uh, any service events, volunteering opportunities, we send our 3 points. So we make it easy for you to get to 8 points. You can get a t-shirt, stress ball at the end of the semester. Uh, we want you guys to be active members of the club. And then paying dues is just $10 a semester. Uh, you can, oh, you can scan the QR code here. That takes you to the AS website where you can pay them, or Emily, who's not on the meeting right now, but if you like ran into her at a service event or something, um, then she can take your $10 and deposit it, and we'll write that down and record it. Any questions about that? And then upcoming events, one of our service opportunities. Uh, volunteering has closed for that as far as I know, just because they're having like little orientation Zoom meetings this week. Um, but we're gonna be volunteering with Virtual Dancers Organization, and they have their showcase every year. So it'll be a fun time. We'll post pictures. Uh, check it out if you're around next year. Definitely recommend volunteering. And then some upcoming events we'll be having. Next GBM is October 13th at 11:30 a.m. on Zoom. We have Rhonda Foley from Ontario Blind Sports talking to us. Ontario, Canada, so really cool. Just seeing how adaptive sports are in a different country, and then they're focusing specifically on different blind sports. So it should be really interesting. If you can't log on right at 11:30, you're welcome to log on as well. Um, and kind of catch the tail end of that presentation, trying to give some varying times for people. Yes. Allison, anything to add on that? And then we'll keep you guys updated for our October social. Again, hopefully blind soccer, but making a date, talking with Adapt Athletics, seeing kind of when they're available. Okay. Allison will take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to start with kind of the beginning of blind soccer and how it kind of started out and came to be. So Brazil was really the pioneer of blind soccer, and they developed the first structured rules and competitions. And this was in around the late 60s and early 70s. And now the competitions we see today have really been built off the competitions that they made in the past. So they've really been a model for blind soccer. So some early milestones. The first national championship was held by Brazil in Brazil in 1978. So they had a bunch of teams within Brazil compete for a title, and that was the first real national championship for blind soccer. And then fast forward to 2004, blind soccer was added to the Paralympics, and that was the first time that it showed up in an Olympic competition. And the winners of that Paralympic debut for blind soccer was Brazil. They're kind of the best nation at blind soccer, so they win a lot of the competitions. And then fast forward to today, where blind soccer is kind of expanded across the global stage. So currently, over 60 countries participate in blind soccer internationally, including the United States and other large countries. Now we have world championships every 4 years. This includes the Worlds and the Paralympics. And then, as I was saying earlier, Brazil has had the most success. They were the pioneers, started off the competitions, and have really continued to be the leading nation in blind soccer. So they've won several gold medals in the Paralympics and World Championships.
Okay, and then a little bit about the actual rules. So each team has 5 players, and then there's 4 players in the outfield, and they have to be completely blind. So they either have to wear like blindfolds or like blackout goggles. But then there's one goalkeeper, and they can actually be sighted or partially sighted. So the games are broken into two 20-minute halves, so it's 40 minutes total, and then halftime is 10 minutes. And then the ball is pretty interesting because they sew like either like rattles or bells inside of the ball. So when you're kicking it, you can kind of hear it and like orient yourself in space so you know where the ball is. And also a little side note is that players must shout the word voy before like attacking the ball so people aren't like all trying to go after it at once. And that's for player safety, of course. And then, so the field, the blind soccer field is a little bit smaller than a regular soccer field. So the blind soccer field is 40 meters by 20 meters. And then there's also like barriers on the sides that kind of like keep the ball so you're not like kicking it super far away and like have no idea where it went. And then there's also guides for each team who can see and they kind of like guide the players and tell them like where to go or like where the ball is so they're not like completely lost. And then yeah, there's a goalkeeper and a coach at the midfield, and then there's also like assistants behind the goals. And then a little bit for the rules, if you get 5 personal fouls, you get disqualified from the game, and that's to ensure like safety and fairness and make sure that the game is played smoothly. And I think that's it. And now we have a Kahoot. So you guys, I hope you guys paid attention because the Kahoot is based on this.
Any questions before we go to the Kahoot? Okay. Also, forgot to add in, but I'm gonna like do a little, not a shameless plug, but a little like woo-hoo before we go. I wanted to add a slide, but Alicia Guerrero on Sunday won bronze for one of her, I forget if it was chocolate or discus, but one of her events, she just won bronze. So woo, go Alicia. So really cool to have that like Paralympic connection.
Also, Matt and Amanda, if you guys want to play, you can. I mean, Kalena, Will, and I like know the answers, so it'd be not unfair, but if you guys want to play, you should.
There, like, a couple more people. Oh, and I checked. Alicia won bronze and discus. So, woo, yay! Okay, I'm gonna start it now, unless anyone wants to mute and be like, no. Okay. Good job, guys. Woo. Nice. Okay. Wow. Better than the last one. Wow, blocking guys. No, I'm kidding. Good job. Okay, girl. Let's go. That's a lot, it seems. figure out who's gonna be a guide when we play this game. Because we're gonna need it. Okay, Matt. Slay. Nice. Congrats to our podium finishers. That's kind of the end of our GBM, a little quicker one this week since we didn't have a guest speaker. Uh, but we hope to see you on the next one with Rhonda. Should be about an hour. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to stick around. Want to fill out the membership form. Try and think if there's anything else coming up super soon. Oh, at our next meeting, we'll talk about on October 13th, we'll talk about volunteering at Challenge Athletes Foundation Community Challenge Weekend. So that's coming up last weekend of October. So if you're interested in doing some volunteering with us, that's a great one to go. Yeah, all are good to go. If you have any questions, feel free to stick around.
Thank you, Kalena. Bye.
Bye.